What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it is 9 o'clock in the morning and it is already 86 degrees. So we're gonna jump in the Jeep and get a couple things that we need for today to get through this freaking heat day, because it's supposed to be 100 plus.
Yeah, look at that LB7 smoke, baby. Because it's freaking America Day, that's why. So even though it's supposed to be 100 plus degrees today, I still am going to mow my yard. What the hell? There's a helicopter flying really low. You guys see it? Right? I can't. It's right there. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone! I swear, these Pennsylvania roads freaking suck. Like, I don't know what my tax money goes towards, but it obviously isn't roads. Anyway, so for today's video, we're going to be working on the 92 Camaro. Again, I want to do like an update on the Camaro once a week, and just because of my work schedule and everything like that, it's hard to try to work on the car every single night, having two little kids and, you know, working all the time. It does become difficult. So I will say, I want you guys to expect there to be at least once there will be a Camaro update a week, and it will most likely be every Saturday. Well, it's Fair Week in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. You know what that means? It means everybody's gonna go to freaking Tractor Supply, get some boots and a flannel. This is like the 1 week of the year that Tractor Supply sells out of all of their clothes and all of their boots, just because everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go get a lightweight flannel, cut the sleeves off of it, and buy some boots. It's really, really annoying, to be honest with you guys. But end of the freaking rant. Dad, can I borrow your truck so I could go to the fair?
So in order to get through today, yep. All right, guys, before I start mowing the yard, I'm gonna change. I've had people comment about these Snussy Copen t-shirts before, and that if they were in a different color, you guys would order them. And honestly, like, I haven't really thought about selling them too much, but if you guys wanted these shirts, what color would you want them to be? All right, so the yard is mowed. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but the yard is mowed. I got changed, did not shower yet, so if you could smell me through the video, it wouldn't be the greatest. But we're going to continue to work on the 3rd gen Camaro today. Now, earlier today I did peel off more on the door, but we're going to try to at least get this whole half of the Camaro done today. That way you guys can kind of see the imperfections. And honestly, I might try to test the coolant reservoir and see if we have a leak through the actual reservoir. Just because when it was sitting inside here, it was leaking freaking coolant everywhere. Now, I know some of this is honestly super boring, and I know some of you guys that are new to the channel are going to be like, well, why'd you plastidip the whole car if it's just blue underneath? So underneath the hood, the bumper, and the passenger fender, that is white and green. The fender is. The hood is like a baby. What the hell? The hood is actually Maui blue, which is the original color of my 88. And then I don't even remember what color the bumper is. I think the bumper was sanded down and was in primer. So it's like, once I get past this fender, you're really going to see the imperfection of everything on the whole front of this car from when I bought it wrecked and then re-put everything back together. So just bear with me, because this thing's going to get painted here soon. It's gonna look a lot better. Do you guys see the sweat just dripping off my face? Like, my arms are just soaked in freaking sweat. But I'm gonna keep going. That way I get this side done because I'm over peeling this plastidip off. I know you guys are tired of watching it too, but luckily it's on a time lapse, so I can speed up the time lapse so it's not as crazy. But like I said, later on in the video, we might actually start this freaking thing as well. I might get if the coolant reservoir doesn't have a crack in it, I might start it just to see where it's leaking from. It is that freaking hot that the glue that holds the foam on my tripod like kicked up, folded back, so my tripod is freaking done. So gotta go to Five Below and get another freaking tripod. Alright, so we're gonna take a break from the sanding process. I'm gonna grab my keys just because I thought about this and I'm like, dude, I have not started my Duramax in like weeks. So we're gonna start the Duramax real quick, just make sure everything's still kosher there. Let's let the glow plugs do the magic, even though it's hot as balls. See if she still starts up. I miss having a truck, man. I miss driving around. It's just this thing needs too much freaking work for me to even venture into trying to get this thing back on the road the way it should be. It's just, this truck is super, super frustrating. I would rather take on the full restoration of the Camaro than redoing this Duramax right now, just because it's a freaking headache. So now I'm gonna fill this up with water. Before we fill it up with water, just to test to see if it's leaking, you gotta stay son of a bitch. Well, now that I'm covered in what little bit of freaking coolant was still in the reservoir, I'm not drinking my normal tap water today. I'm not hanging out with Jack. My wife told me that Jack and I are too close of friends. And Yingling's a little bit too hard on my stomach because even though I'm skinny, I'm starting to get a little bit of a belly down here. So I've transferred to kind of lighter stuff, which obviously isn't my first choice, but it's keeping me hydrated in this hot day. Alright, so like I said, what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the hose on over here. Now, I'm not gonna fill this damn thing like tippy top full just because I don't feel like making a mess everywhere, but we're gonna fill this puppy up with water, see if we're leaking out of the physical reservoir itself or if I have a hose that's messed up. Now I did go in and I did look at like all the hoses, you know, a couple months ago, and I did not see anything that was leaking, anything along those lines. So frustrating, but unfortunately sometimes you have to do some weird tests just to try to figure something out, and that's what I'm going to do here now. So, just about there. Alright, so I'm going to quickly turn the hose off because I don't want to listen to the damn racket. But when I pick up coolant reservoir, it's not leaking out of anywhere. I have the hose covered, so I know that's not leaking. So the physical reservoir itself is not leaking, which is actually a good thing. But now I gotta figure out, that's really nasty and freaking grimy. Holy shit. Probably still better off buying another freaking reservoir. So now knowing that it's not the reservoir tells me that I either have a leak in my radiator or one of the hoses is leaking, so I'm not going to start the car today. As much as I would like to start the car, get it running and have the reservoir back inside there, I don't want to keep running through coolant until I figure out what's going on. So that'll have to be saved for a future video of physically trying to figure that out, because it's been like kind of like, I'll check it, everything's fine. When it's running, nothing is leaking. But then if I leave the car in this garage for like 5 days, the whole floor is flooded with freaking coolant. So that's frustrating in and of itself, but we'll figure that out. The other thing that I wanted to mention is we're at 3,200 subs right now. As soon as we get to 3,500 subs, I'm straight piping that fucker. That, man, my wife is over there. She's not, doesn't seem too enthused. But we are going to straight pipe the Camaro. And no, it's not going to stay that way, obviously, because the motor's getting pulled and a different motor is going to be going into it. But I think for the time being, once we get it, you know, getting ready to go up to get painted and stuff like that, might as well just have it loud as piss. Let's finish up this side real quick and then wrap up today's video. Alright, it is getting way too fucking hot for me to keep doing this. So, first off, let's get it onto a setting. That's gonna get some of that off. Definitely have a lot of work left on this side. Got this back panel over here, fixing that rust. We gotta get all the ground effects off and everything else like that. So, even though this is the boring portions of doing this build, your prep work means so much when you go to paint. So this is just getting the plastidip off of it, but then my physical prep work preparing to be painted is going to be so tedious, it's going to be insane. But if this was your first time watching a video on my channel, guys, we're freaking getting someplace. I am just dripping in sweat right now, but we are getting somewhere with the car. If you guys love automotive content, if you guys love third-gen Camaros, subscribe to the freaking channel. Hit the notification bell. Join us on our journey to 5,000 subscribers. We are at 3,200 right now, and we are climbing. Not at like a ridiculous rate, but we're climbing very quick. I want to have this car done by 5,000 subscribers. It's gonna take a lot of freaking work. Some of these videos are going to be boring with the sanding. Plus, when I start doing body filler and all the prep work, it's gonna be kind of boring. But I wanna show you guys step by step everything that gets done to this car. Coming up soon, we're gonna be taking the front bumper, the hood, fenders, ground effects, everything apart. The whole interior is gonna be gutted. There's gonna be a lot of productive videos coming soon. I gotta get this body work done though. So like I said, if this was your first time watching a video on the channel, guys, give it a big thumbs up. I'm sweating my balls off. I'm going inside to take a shower. Till next time, see you.